Hello and welcome to Mickey Art. My name's Michelle Edhouse and today we're spinning again. One of my regulars on commenting on the YouTube channel, Racoonsister, had spotted one of my previous pours and she's like, oh, could you do that in light blue, yellow green and a touch of orange? Okay, Racoonsister, just for you, my dear. So I know that it was a spin pour and pretty sure it was a dirty cut pour. So we've got that. Oh my goodness, that green just looks really intense. That is not as intense as it actually is. See if I can get it. No. Okay, so this is not lime green. This is a this is Americana Festive Green with some Americana Primary Yellow added. So that's what this is. It's not as quite that intense, but it might be when it dries, who knows. This is Reeves Cobalt Blue with just a touch of Americana White. And this is, she said, just a little bit of orange. Okay, I'll do that. So that is Vermilion Orange from Reeves. So let's put some more of each of those. I've got the wall up on my protective box because it's night and the light is behind me, and I had some pretty hideous shadows, so I've put the wall back up so that it creates is that enough orange? Yes, no, yes. And what I'm actually going to do is just put some Reeves White, titanium white, from a high level. Whoops. And that will push down and hopefully give us a bit of contrast in there. Not a lot, but enough. So I am working on as you saw at the beginning, a children's pottery wheel. And the link will be in the description, and if I forget to do that, please remind me and I will put it there for you. This is a 2-speed battery operated one, and it has a I'm going to have to let that down because I'm not going to be able to get right. It has a switch on the side, and I seem to remember we were doing it on slow speed and just pouring standard straight pour, just like this. And as it pours, it pushes the outer stuff out. And I've never been able to get this thing completely straight. It's not designed to be perfect. It's designed to be a kid's pottery wheel. And it's cheap. I think it's like 30 bucks on Amazon. So I'm just going to let that just keep spinning so that we can get some of that center point a little bit thinned out, hopefully. And we'll be able to see once we no longer have that black line when it's completely covered the whole thing. In the previous ones I did put it up to high speed, but I'm not going to do that on this one. I think we're nearly there. We're so close. Yeah. There we have it, I think. Let's turn it off and have a look. Alright. Oh, that is so not colours I would normally use. So, Racoonsister, I'm hoping you like it. It's definitely fun. So, let me just grab the torch and see if there's any silicone in there somewhere. Any air bubbles. Doing it on the slow spin definitely makes a huge difference. Maybe I'll use the same colours and do another one on a fast spin and show you how different it is. And then different again is if you're doing it with a Lazy Susan and hand spinning. That's even more different. Oh, Racoonsister, I'm sorry. I so realised that actually I was doing that travelling ring spin last time. My apologies for not remembering which one you were commenting on. I wrote it in my little book and didn't track right which one it was. So we don't have many cells. We've got some tiny little ones in there. For those of you that have never seen a record pour before, I put a bit of tape across the hole in the back so that the paint doesn't go pouring through. And oh yeah, and you may have noticed that I had painted over the label as well. So there that is. It's a bit off center, as to be expected, but you know what? We're at 7 minutes. I'm going to go for the second one and do a second pour. 2 pours in one. Here we go. I don't know. Will I change the colours though? Might put a little bit more white in the bottom this time. So, let's grab another record. I did up about 20 in a row when I painted them. I just laid them all out and painted 20 and let them all dry. Because you got to let the paint dry for at least a week before you paint over it. Otherwise you get exactly what would happen if you wet your paint. Normally it bubbles up. So you don't want that to happen. You need to prep at least a week out if you're going to do the paint, the black. So I've got a centre cross in there. It's roughly right, but I think, see how much this moves? It bubbles up and down, and I think that is more the problem with the off centre than necessarily it being, it wiggles a lot. It's not designed for this job. It's not designed to be a perfect centered thing. Where's my cross? There we go. So on those bits of wood that you saw, I've got black tape that's rolled round on itself so it can just hold that in place while it's spinning. So here's our cup, and I'm going to put the white in first. Well, some white in. It's not a lot left in here. This is the cup that I mixed it in, and then I transferred it to my squeegee bottle. Now while I'm doing all this, all of my paints are mixed with Floetrol and water. Oh, the Americana I just mix with Floetrol. I don't tend to put any water in because they are craft paints rather than fine artist acrylics, and in so being they're runny, whereas the Reeves is a gloopy type of paint. So put some white in there now. Let's hold that upside down for a little while I get the next colour. Come out, wherever you are. Sorry that all you can see is the cup. But it's hardly any in there. I think I've got a lump in that green. I'm not going to tip the lump in this time. And blue. I'm running out of paint. Come on, white. Here we go. I do have more white, but I don't want to put a lot of white in. Don't need a lot of white. Just the odd bit here and there. Now where's that lump in the green? Let's get rid of that. Anytime you've got part used containers sitting around, they can start to, oops, that's not where that's supposed to go. Huh. They can start to dry on the sides. So you've got a full container, it's covering all its sides, it's got no air to make it go off. But once you've used some, it starts to stick to the sides, and then if you scrape the sides or shake it well and they become dislodged, not so cool. Alright, now I'm going to still do one more thing. I've got some Mars black here, and I'm going to do that high pressure. Alright, it's not very high pressure. I really do need to clean that out. Okay, so do I do high speed and show you the difference between high speed and low speed, or do I do low speed and the decisions. We're going to do the travelling ring pour spin, which is what Racoonsister asked me to do. So it's not pouring very well actually. You can see by the blobbiness on the outer edge that I'm drawing little circles off-centered. And they become more obvious in the middle because they become thin and overlap each other lots. There's still a little bit of paint coming out. Oh! We just got a bit of white coming out. That's so cool. Oh my god. I'm so looking forward to showing you this. all that's going to come out of there. But look at that centre bit. And it looks like we covered the whole lot. So, oops, wrong way. Check it out. That's freaky. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god, it's so cool and so funny and so weird and so ugly all at the same time. That's hilarious. I love it. Oh, let me cover it back up so that the camera can actually see it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's just give it a bit of a torching. Now, the torch comes in for two reasons. One being to pop any air bubbles, but another being to warm the paint slightly, which then allows the silicone to rise up to the top. We do actually have some cells in some of those earlier bits. I'm doing a travelling ring fire. Now you don't want to have your torch so close that it burns the paint. You've got to have it about as close as it is as you can hold it to your hand to give it some warmth but not burn your hand. So if that gives you an indication, that's about how close I am to the paint, which you can't really tell from up there. Oh, that's hilarious. It's hilariously weird. How does it get any better than this? Thank you, Racoonsister, for the idea. Oh my goodness me. Alright, I'm going to bring this out and put it next to the other one, and then I'll give you close-ups of both of them. Hold on 2 seconds. Where's that one? And there's another one. Now, when you're setting your paintings to dry, you really do need to put them as flat as possible. Okay. Oh, come with me, my dears. Dun, 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 dun. Look at my ugly carpet. Alright. So, here we have the two of them together. Now, this is where this one was just poured straight on and allowed it just to spin itself. This one I was deliberately doing circles like a travelling ring pour, but because it was turning underneath, we got this super cool design. Ah, so funny. I do like it. There's some cells in there. I'm interested to see how this colour dries. I find that the cobalt doesn't do great things once you add water. Not water, white. It goes a bit weird. A bit too pastel-y for my liking. And I'm quite interested to see just how green that comes out. So they're very, very different. As you saw, the only thing I added different was the Mars Black into that one. But even just looking at the designs, the difference, just turning your hand around in circles while you're pouring and leaving it still, so different. So different. Sorry about the reflection of the light. Oh, so different. How does it get any better than that? Alright, my dears, let's see how they dry. I'll be back once these two are dry. Ta-da! How does it get any better than this? Right, so what have we got? God, this camera does really wonky things to colour. This is interesting. It's not my favourite piece in the world, but it's very water-like is what it is. It's come up really well. There's a slight blemish in the paint. Just, where did I see that? Where did you go? Just in there. There. Can you see? Can you? I can, but can you? Not really. I think it's a tiny, tiny little chunk that was in the paint. Other than that, this looks fantastic. Not many cells, but it's kind of cool. Not my colours. But, Racoonsister, you called it. There you go. And then the second one, this is quite funky. I quite like this one. Don't know whether I'll keep it though. I had a friend say to me one day, what do you do with the ones you don't like? And I was like, oh, you know, they're over there in a pile. And he says, we could take them skeet shooting. I was like, well, first of all, I don't skeet shoot. But secondly, I'm not sure they'd fit into the skeet shoot launcher. I've never been near one, so I wouldn't know. This one's got an interesting little thing happening in the centre there, though. Check out that. It's like it got a mole on its face. I'm really not sure what it is. What that is. It could be a silicone drip, a silicone bit that came up and morphed, but I'm not sure. It's really odd. It's anyway, but it's still pretty cool, and I do like it. It's odd, but I like this funky spirograph kind of look about these. I do. Anyway, that's me, that's us, and that was fun. So if you've got any suggestions about what I should try colour wise or technique style or anything like that, let me know. I'm happy to put it into my list of things to play with. And quite often I'll go, oh, what am I going to do? And I open up that list and something jumps out at me and I play with it. So thank you, Racoonsister, for playing with me. And what else is possible? How much fun can we have? Come play, come join me. And yeah, how does it get any better than this? Bye.